Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I went from hair like this to hair like this. No, I did not wake up and grow like 18 inches of hair overnight. I was sent a bunch of tape and extensions from Amazing Beauty Hair, this company right here. They are 100% human hair extensions. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys how I achieved this cute, curly, kind of messy look using my tape and extensions. And here we go. Okay, so for starters, my hair was just washed and blow dried the day before yesterday. So it's a little bit on the greasy side as far as roots. So I put on some First Class from IGK. It is their dry shampoo. This stuff works real well. Like, I love this stuff. If you have thinner hair, if your hair doesn't get super duper oily, I would probably go with another product because this works really well. But if you have thick hair and really oily hair, definitely try this out. I also put on, after my shower, once my hair was a little bit dry, not like all the way dry, but still a little damp, Olaplex number 6, their Bond Smoother. It's a leave-in treatment, like a deep conditioning treatment. It works really well. And I normally would also put on Olaplex number 7, but I'm out of it. So I used Argan Oil of Morocco from Organics. This stuff works pretty well, but I definitely prefer Olaplex, just FYI. Eventually I would like to film a video about how I care for my tape-ins and the products that I use, etc. But I'm just gonna go over what I used for this today. So with that being said, I'm going to separate my hair. I like to use a big clip. I also have little alligator clips, but I typically go with these. And since the bottom part of my head is shaved, like from here down, it's growing back in, but I don't do like a bottom section. When I had hair down there, I would do like a bottom section like this, but now I kind of go right about in this area, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but right about here, kind of like the top of your temple area. I'm just gonna make sure it's not splitting any tapes in half. I think we're good. Then brush my hair back as much as possible, because you guys know if you have tapes, it's kind of hard to brush your hair, especially near the root. And then I just kind of twist it into a bun like this. Clip it as well as possible. It'll usually stay. So then what I'll do is, in the back of my head, part down the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect again, but as close as possible. And then I'm using my wet brush. It is old and nasty, but I love this wet brush. And just brushing through the hair, making sure it's not tangled. I will be using my, I believe it's a 1-inch curling iron. This curling iron itself is Xtava. I got it off of Amazon. It has interchangeable heads, and you can change, you know, the temperature. I have it on 350, which is probably pretty high, but it works. So what I'm gonna do is take my first little section here. I'm gonna be curling it away from my face. So I'm gonna take my curling iron and brush it over the hair just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. And then I will go down to the upper mid shaft area, twist up, keep doing that. And my section's about 1 inch, like one tape basically. And I don't want the end in there because it starts to slip out. It's kind of started doing that. But just hold it on there for a second. And there we go. So we have our first curl here. We're just gonna leave it alone. And then I'm gonna take my second section. I'm going to flip the curling iron around Again, smooth it over, and I'm going to curl it toward my face. Okay, so we can see two different curls, and then you'll want to go back and forth like this. So on this next one, again, we'll curl away from the face. All right, so I'm gonna finish up this side, and then I'll catch you on the flip side. We have this side curled. I'm just gonna leave it and move on to this side. Again, we're gonna start with the first section, curling away from the face. All right, so both sides are curled now. I'm just gonna flip that on back, and then we are going to take a piece from the top section. Feels so good. All right, hair's gone a little wonky. That's all right, we'll fix it. So for this next section, I like to go pretty close to the crown of my head. I have really thick hair, and I have a lot of tapes in for only having a half a head of hair, but I like to basically get everything except the very top of my head and twist her up. Obviously, this is not a very professional way of doing this, but I'm doing my best, y'all, okay? Look at that top knot, A1. What I'm doing is brushing out the hair that I pulled down, just trying to separate it from what I've already curled and make sure it's not all tangled up before we go in and style. Again, same thing, first piece, we're going to curl away from the face. And the second piece, we will curl toward the face. And again, just back and forth, back and forth. And we're going to this side. another thing, like I said, my hair is really thick and it's also wavy curly. So I kind of have to try and get it to blend in a little bit better, because it definitely does not want to blend in. So I just kind of try and take the pieces separately, curl them or straighten them a little bit to kind of blend it a little bit better, so they're not just like wah, wah. Okay, so I think I got everything. It's just making sure in the back there, because it's kind of looking a little, but I'll go through at the end and make sure it all looks good. But then I'm going to take this last section and just bring it all down. And we're done. Just kidding. So again, trying to brush through it as best as possible, just to make sure that we don't have any big old knots in here. Okay, and again, we're gonna take the front and curl it away from the base. And on this top part, especially near my bangs, I like to start right where my actual bangs like meet the extensions. So like right about here, to just kind of blend that in. And further back, what I do, like on the next piece, you see I go down a little bit further, because I don't want my real hair flipping every which way. See what I mean? A little bit further down. Okay. So then you just keep doing this till the end of time. And up top, you'll notice even on the ones I'm curling forward, I kind of run the curling iron over it like the back way, so that it blends a little bit better, like my actual hair blends with the tapes. Because like I said, my hair is wavy, and you could kind of see before I did it right here, like it was like right. And I just feel like it gives away the fact that your hair doesn't match your extension. Okay, so if you can see what I was doing there, I was taking my real hair and kind of smoothing it out like I was saying earlier, just helping it blend a little bit. Just a little bit. It's so easy to forget like what you're doing. No, but like what way you're going, so just try and do your best. If you mess up, it is not the end of the world, I promise you. Okay, moving on over to this side once again, last time. And no matter what style you're doing, you always want to check the back of your head, especially with tapes, because some magic can really happen back there. So before I do my next steps, I'm gonna look at the back and make sure it's not cray cray. Out a piece. Then I'm going to make sure to brush out the top to cover the back. Brush out a little bit of my hair, just to make sure we're not going crazy. And I'm gonna check the back again. I think we're looking pretty good. I mean, I can't tell because I'm blind without my glasses, but not bad. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is try and split her in half as best we can. And then I'm gonna take my favorite hairspray from R&Co. It's called Vicious. And it is a stronghold, flexible. It's a pretty intense hold. So I don't wanna lose all these curls immediately. I'm going to put some in before and after brushing. And I like to spray from the bottom up. I feel like it keeps more volume in there. Flip it all into the back, and then I'm gonna spray down the back top part of my head just to keep my actual hair laying flat to the extensions as much as possible. And then we're gonna let that sit, take a coffee break. Okay, so it's been long enough for my impatience. I'm just gonna brush it out just a little. We're not gonna go cray cray, okay? Then I'm gonna take my little teaser brush and just random spots, honestly, like you don't want to get it too tangled because remember, these are extensions, they already tangle enough. We're just kind of adding some volume, and I'm going to do it quite a bit, like where my hair meets the extensions. Also going to make sure to do that with my bangs or my natural hair in the front. Not a ton, but just a little bit of back combing. Just kind of helps give volume and hide my tapes in the front, because my tapes in the front are like, I've had these tapes in for a month now, so they're kind of growing out a little bit and they're wanting to show. And I'm like, no, honey, we don't do that here. I have a few different colors going on and a few things happening, so I'm just gonna explain everything that happened. You saw my hair, it is pixie hair. It is like this freaking short at the longest part. It's longer in the front, shorter in the back, and the under part is shaved. Right now it's not super shaved, it's kind of growing out. I can't decide if I want to shave it again or grow it out, but that's what it's looking like. So I have basically a half a head of hair. So Amazing Beauty Hair actually last year sent me 5 packs of hair extensions. I got 3 packs of shade number 2 and 2 packs of shade number 3, I believe. They also recently sent me 3 packs of the T2-number 6. So it goes from a level 2 up top and down to this caramely blonde, I guess, which they call a number 6. As far as how much hair we actually used, we used 2 packs of the T2-6 and probably at least 2, I want to say probably closer to 3 of a mix of the shade number 2 and shade number 3. So I had mine mostly professionally installed, and I'll get to that in a second. But what she did was obviously blend all 3 of those colors, blended the custom colored ones that I had done myself at home. But if you go to a stylist, which I highly recommend, they'll be able to do that for you. They can talk you through everything and explain to you all the different details. I noted earlier that they were mostly professionally put in. I have had these in my head for a month now, and a few have come out. So I went back in to fix them and put new ones back in. And I had given my hairstylist all of my tapes, so I had to use the extensions that were new with tape. So we ended up getting a little more blonde because what she had done was basically all in the bottom. She had put number 2s and number 3s, and then mixed on top. She would sandwich a 2 or 3 on top of the T2-6, so that's the blonde balayage one. So it kind of gave it a little bit more of a washed out, like less like big chunky chunks of blonde that I have now, and it was absolutely gorgeous. You can kind of see like right here, that's what it looked like all over my head on top. But like I said, I had to fix them. They were kind of thinning out. I lost about 8 sandwiches. And that was not due to anything that my stylist did or anything wrong with the hair extensions. It was because I didn't properly clean off all of the adhesive from the extensions that I used the last time. I'm going to show you what it looks like when they arrive in their packaging. As you already saw, they come in this box. This is 1 pack of them. This is the T2-6. It's kind of hard to see in plastic. Also comes with a comb as well as an alligator clip in each pack. So like, let's say you order 3 packs, you get 3 sets of these, which is really nice. I have enough of this stuff to last me till the end of time, basically. This is all of the hair from the last time I had my hair done that did not go on my head. We still have quite a bit left, including that 1 pack that I just showed you. Obviously that's not on my head. But this is the number 2 and number 3. You can see here though that these really dark pieces, I actually colored myself, because as you can see here, it's kind of hard to tell any difference whatsoever between the level 2 and level 3, and it's very red. I think this is a level 3 in real life. You can see how dark this is, like in comparison. You can kind of see in there where the dark ones are. Those are custom colored because it was just not dark enough. Like you can see my hair, that's the same shade as the extensions I custom colored that I showed you. Also, these number 2 to 6, T2-6, you can kind of see here, it turns out I don't have any that aren't on my head that aren't in a brand new package, but they're very red up top. So this is like my actual hair, and in comparison, it's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but they're really red. They're not a level 2 whatsoever. So if you do order this hair, be prepared. You might have to custom color or kind of blend some things. My only complaint about this hair is that the colors aren't really as accurate as they should be. Like a level 2 is really dark. It's almost black. And their level 2 and level 3 are the same color basically, and they're like a very red brown. Otherwise, I'm extremely satisfied with the quality of the hair, the quality of the tape. They last very well. I've had these in my head for about a month. I absolutely love these extensions. They're nice and thick. They stay together. They don't really shed very much. I do get some problems with tangling, but I feel like that's really with any kind of extension. So I just go in with a hair oil, and it really helps to prevent from tangling, because they just get so dry no matter how much you're conditioning them and deep conditioning them and putting on leave-in conditioners, etc. I feel like you really have to use oils with hair extensions. Like I said, I have used the number 2s and number 3s multiple times. This is my 3rd or 4th time using them, like putting them back on my head, and they're still in really great condition. I've had to throw a few out because they just get so knotted and tangled, but really, like, overall the quality is great. Their customer service is amazing. Their ship time is really fast, and I have no complaints other than the fact that the hair isn't really the shade that it's supposed to be. But in the end, that's not a huge deal, because I feel like really with any kind of extensions you get, you're gonna have to custom color them, like, unless you can magically find exactly the perfect shade. They also have a really reasonable price point compared to a lot of other extension brands. And like I said, I was sent these, so I did not pay for them. But looking at the prices compared to a lot of other brands, they're really affordable. And like I said, other than the color being a little bit off, I don't have any complaints.